and this is Raw 12:51 AM. I am your host, Chinmay, and welcome to the Warwick F1 show. And this week, I think there's two different sections that we could talk about. The first one, I think, is we got the whole thing with Mazepin and Russia, especially in the last week where we had so much news going on across home with Mazepin and the whole thing with the Russia-Ukraine war. And unfortunately, it's not all just a consequence of events that we didn't want to see. And also I thought, now that finally Alfa Romeo has released their new livery after 10 days after everybody else, after the first testing and everything, I thought it would be a good time to rank all the liveries. So, and I can't do this alone, so I've got first of all my two co-hosts. Jack, how are you doing today?
I'm not actually that great. You could probably tell my voice is a bit rough, so I'm going to be nice and close to the mic, and I hope I don't make anyone's ears bleed too much. But no, I'm looking forward to the livery bit because that's my ball game. I like ranting about things that look pretty or don't.
Fair enough. And we've got Will. How are you doing today?
I'm also a bit ill, so we just got two ill co-hosts. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the liveries. Looking forward to talking about them. They keep releasing new liveries, all of the teams. It's just like they can't decide on which one to go with. It's ridiculous.
Especially if you're Alpine or something like that. And we got two extra guests with me. We have a returning guest with Kavin. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, mate.
Yep. And also we have a new guest today with Katch. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. I'm excited to be on. I haven't been able to make the rest of them. I've been pretty busy, but finally I've been able to catch one that's a pretty exciting week to talk about.
Glad you're able to make it on today. So I think, obviously, with the whole thing that we've seen last 2 weeks of the Russia-Ukraine war, and obviously Formula One has not been immune to the effects of this whole conflict, especially the Haas team, which has its whole ties with Nikita Mazepin and the whole branding title sponsor Uralkali being a Russian company. And obviously, because of the consequence, we had seen Haas move the livery, and now in the last week or so, we've seen Mazepin having his contract terminated, even though the FIA did release a statement that Russian athletes could still complete a couple of days before the announcement. I mean, what was your reaction to whole Mazepin getting kicked out? Did you kind of expect that to happen?
I mean, it's been a really rough couple of years for Haas, hasn't it? It's yeah, I did expect it to happen. I did think it was going to be one of two ways: either those Russian athletes not being able to compete, and I'm a bit disappointed the FIA didn't take that hardline stance on that. I know it's not fair, but it has to be that we have to crack down on that. F1 or government or whatever it is, we have to make sure that the Russian people are aware that what their country is doing isn't okay. And I know that we can't get to Putin directly. So they're the unfortunate. I don't think casualties is the right word because we know what the casualties really are, but they are in the way, unfortunately. I did think even if the FIA didn't ban it, that Uralkali would be dropped because it is just such a bad such bad publicity. I know there's no such thing as bad publicity, but in this case there really is such a thing as bad publicity. And Mazepin and Mr. Mazepin together are that in a bombshell.
Yeah, but yeah, did you really want? I mean, I know what the answer is, but I'll still ask it. Did you want Mazepin to stay?
For Mazepin himself, I didn't want him to stay, but I still feel like the ruling was a bit unfair. Yeah. You know, if it was Dani Kvyat, then maybe I'd be protesting about it a bit more. But Mazepin has done things off the track that should have got him expelled from racing a while ago. And on the track, he's not particularly, covering himself in glory. So yeah. It's good to see him gone. But hopefully we have a Haas driver coming in that's able to push the team forward and not just a paid driver.
Yeah, and speaking of Mazepin and things he's done off track, I think this morning he announced this whole thing about wanting to unite all the banned athletes of Russia and even coin the term "we compete" as one. I mean, first of all, just knocking off the entire whole diversity, ripping off the whole diversity thing. But, I mean, Katch, what did you think when he said that on Twitter this morning?
I can't say I'm too surprised, to be honest, because he's not, like everyone said, he's not really the best driver. He's not really painted himself in a good light. All the actions with everything he's done has been awful. But to go, we don't know personally, but we can make an assumption he's not that for diversity, and he's not really stood behind Lewis and his campaigns that he's been doing, and with the whole F1 diversity push. So just doing this is a real stab in the back. I can imagine he came up with that slogan and thought, yeah, this is it. This is really going to help me and my climb to get back in an F1 seat. It's not going to happen unless his dad creates an F1 team, to be fair, which is highly unlikely now, but yeah, it's a bit unsurprising, but I just hope that we all forget about him at some point and his antics go away.
It's just why he would.
That is the question, isn't it?
What is the point of him?
It's just, yeah, there is. I don't really think this is a point. It seems a bit petulant, really. Like, realistically, he's not probably good enough to be in the sport. Maybe this isn't.
I don't think there's any probably about that.
Yeah,
Definitely
there isn't. Maybe
Very certain.
this isn't the best way for him to leave it. But realistically, that's it for his F1 career. I cannot see them or him coming back from this.
The thing is, he's accidentally campaigning for something that I think's great. I don't think that it should be very money based, and that's the thing. He's now suffering because he doesn't have that funding anymore, and he's not good enough. And I want to see what life is like when it's a proper meritocracy. So if he wants it to be a meritocracy, if he wants to make sure that things are done with everybody having equal funding, then I'm all for that. But I don't think he knows that that's what he's campaigning for.
No, I don't think he'll ever campaign for anything like that anyway. But yeah. So, I mean, that does leave that we only have 19 official drivers on the grid at the moment, and we do have one seat spare with the second Haas seat. So, who do you honestly think would actually replace Mazepin? I know we got Pietro Fittipaldi coming in for the testing in Bahrain this week, but who do you think might actually take the seat?
Can I run through the candidates?
Yes.
I mean, I'll add an E that I haven't remembered. So we have Fittipaldi. There is obviously Piastri's an outside chance. Giovinazzi's a little bit more likely. There's been some talk about Magnussen. And then if you're really feeling optimistic, there's also Hulkenberg.
I want him back.
Yeah, okay. Have I missed any? That's 5. I mean, there's Ilott maybe, but he is properly secured in IndyCar.
No,
I'm getting the shakes of the heads.
I think that's why I'd discount Magnussen as well, because he's quite secure in IMSA.
That's why I'd also discount Giovinazzi. I think he wants to be an FE, though I think if he was to come in, he'd have to bring some sponsorship, which he could do. But that's why I want Hulkenberg, man. Nico Hulkenberg needs to come in.
Some people also said Daruvula. And Daruvala's definitely got funding, hasn't he? Because he's at Prema at the moment, and he's a Red Bull junior driver, I think.
Yeah,
but Prema has traditionally had that link with Ferrari anyway. So it's not out of the blue. It wouldn't be completely out of the blue.
If I'm not mistaken, both drivers in Prema are both Red Bull juniors, aren't they? I think it's Dennis Hauger.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, okay, that's an interesting one. I hadn't picked up on that. Anyway.
But,
I think the question is, would Giovinazzi or Magnussen be willing to give up that seat to join Formula One? Because they're both really talented drivers. So, if they take a season out back in F1, I'm sure they will have offers from other racing series coming up. And especially considering Giovinazzi's not had the greatest start in Formula E, he might be willing to give that one up.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, Giovinazzi does have an F1 clause on his contract, so he can actually go into F1 contract-wise, if I'm not mistaken.
But I want Hulkenberg.
I want
Hulkenberg. I want Haas to be delivering a championship-winning car. Hulkenberg to win all 22 races this season.
I did actually see something. I know it's probably a rumour on Twitter, which we don't always listen to, but there was apparently an Instagram story from Fittipaldi, someone related to Fittipaldi, like a management or something, saying that Hulkenberg's got the seat.
Yes!
So
I'm hoping fingers crossed. Hulkenberg and
Schumacher last
Schumacher.
night. So
All German lineup, but
Were Hulkenberg and Schumacher ever teammate? No, they weren't.
No, they're like an entire generation apart.
I know, they came back for 2010 to 2012. I just couldn't remember if Hulkenberg had driven for Mercedes or not. Yeah, I'm talking Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, I know, but still, no.
No, I don't think they were. Maybe like the Race of Champions or something weird like that. But no, I don't think they had any personal link, no.
Well, I think it might be Hulkenberg. And I hope it is, because I just want to see that man on a podium.
Yeah.
My money's on Giovinazzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hulkenberg for me still.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Katch?
still Hulkenberg.
Yeah, I want it to be Hulkenberg as well. So I think 4-1 is good for we want Hulken back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it also probably just a quick one. Do you think Haas might do a brand new livery, or do you think they might just stick with a blank canvas for this year?
I'm going to go first again. I've done that a lot. The livery design really doesn't take very long. For what you get, people spend 2-3 days on it. They'll do a mini copy. So they'll do a digital copy, they'll do a mini copy just to make sure, and then they'll do the whole thing. Sometimes they don't even do the mini copy. And you saw how quickly, a while ago, with when Rocket pulled out of Williams, they had a new livery to go in like 2 days. So they definitely have the time to, whether they have the money to employ someone to do another one, and when they think it's worth it, I don't know. I hope they do, though. I don't think their current ones are that nice.
Yep. What about you guys? What do you think?
Yeah, it's just about whether they get another title sponsor, because Urakali were obviously funding a lot of what Haas were doing. So yeah, unless they get somebody like that, I don't think there are going to be major changes to the livery.
Yep.
I hope they do, because it is like a blank canvas. It literally is just white with a couple of sponsors on. So I think it'd be nice for them to do something, but I don't know what route they go down. And I think it'd be really interesting just to come up with something different. Like, for example, if they got Hulkenberg in, just do like a German flag.
Oh yeah, because they'll both be German, won't they?
Yeah.
Spin it on its
that's
head.
true.
Russian flag to German flag.
And I've seen the renders with the German flag, and it actually looks quite good. Especially because Mick Schumacher, people have always been doing fan art with the German flag liveries.
That could work.
Just don't acknowledge it, but just put a little bit of blue and yellow on there. That would be nice.
Just make it blue and yellow.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
blue
not
and
necessarily
yellow.
like proper Ukraine.
It's just
a little bit.
2006 Renault.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect. So I think it's good for a song break. We have the Red Hot Chili Peppers with their brand new single, Poster Child. And we are back. So I think now it's time to rank deliveries of F1 2022, assuming they don't change it, of course, especially we've had like 50 million changes to deliveries over the last few days. So I think for the first bit, we'll just go through our bottom half. Sort of like, who's the worst? We'll go from 11 to 6. So I think I'll just run through everybody, see what everybody's, placements are from 11 to 6. So I think we'll start with Bill doing a start?
Yes, so my 11th place is the pink Alpine, so the first one they'll use in the first two races. 10th AlphaTauri, 9th Red Bull, 8th McLaren, 7th Haas, and 6th Mercedes.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Kavin?
I've gone for the Mercedes as the bottom car.
Ooh.
I think the Haas is just so bland, but it's still better than like the atrocity which is the Mercedes. Then both Alpines. I've got the pink one above the mixed one. I don't think the pink one looks like an Alpine, but it's just like, it's okay. It looks like the Force India from a few years ago.
It's just lifted off the Racing Point.
Yeah, basically it's that. And then AlphaTauri, I think it's pretty bland. Prefer the one a couple of years ago. Then Alfa Romeo.
Okay. What about you, Katch?
So my bottom is the pink Alpine. Then it's the white Haas because it's blank canvas and it can move up if they put some cool design on it. Then I've got the normal Alpine in 9th. In 8th is the Red Bull because it's good, but it's just a bit boring and there's better liveries around. 7th is the Alfa Romeo and 6th is the AlphaTauri.
Okay, and Jack?
I've got the pink Alpine in 11th as well. 10th is that Mercedes for me. I don't think the colours go well together at all. 9th is the AlphaTauri. On paper, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just looks wrong. 8th is the Alpine, the normal Alpine, because it's a downgrade. And then 7th, I've put Haas. Do you want 6th as well, or was it just the 7th?
Yeah, 6th. Well,
6th as well. 6th, I've put Williams.
Okay.
I liked it kind of when they took photos of it, but on track, the very like subtle W, it just doesn't come out at all.
Okay, and for my one, I've got the blue Alpine on last place, followed by the pink Alpine. I really do not like the pink on the Alpine. It's like literally just like torn off almost like the torn off wallpaper off the Racing Point, just slammed at random parts of the car. 9th, I got the blank canvas Haas. 8th, I got AlphaTauri, because I find that quite boring, and especially with how the AlphaTauri is on the side pods, just doesn't suit it. the way that it just swoops down and just doesn't work. And then 7th I got Mercedes, and then 6th I got Red Bull. So
Basically, we all just hate the Alpines.
I would
Yeah.
like to make it clear that I put the blue Alpine 3rd.
Why?
Pardon?
Because
Why?
I like that car. It's vibrant. It's different. You don't see pink and blue anywhere. That it was on like a Brabham in 1992. It's fun. It's different.
it's different,
It's
but
not
it
It doesn't look good.
It's
Yeah, it
different.
does.
It's like it was done with a knife and fork, stuck with a knife and fork by the council.
I'm so disappointed
It
with
looks
BWT
good.
in the last couple of years because, like, there's so much potential there. Like, you can have pink and blue, you make them in pastel colours, you just get this, like, vaporwave vibe. But no, they've stuck with that, like, satin blue, and it's just, like, awful shade of pink just rammed on top of it.
Oh, I like it.
It displaces that. They had that, the 3 stripes that in red, white, and blue, well, you know, the scale there. And they just kind of, it's gone from being across the back of the car on a real feature, and they just squeezed it up into that little bit of space that's left. It's just, everything looks wrong, and BWT just seem to walk into places that have got a really nice livery and just go like, no you don't.
The
It's not
ultimate
any good
livery
anymore.
destroyer.
They are. I mean, you'll see from where I put Aston Martin, I thought their livery was really good, and it should have been the same last year, so
Yeah.
I'm not happy with them at all.
Yeah.
I'll give you the pink Alpine looks just like it's a racing point. But the blue ones, it's fun. It's got pink and blue, and it's like different. And I like it.
No.
And it's
You.
yeah.
It doesn't
Basically.
look good. The Alpines do not look good. Also, the Red Bull is just boring. That's why I think we've all roughly got it pretty low. It's the same argument with the AlphaTauri. They stick with a similar design every year, and it's just a bit. I know they can't do too much with it because it is about branding, but the AlphaTauri for me is higher because it looks clean, and it looks matte, and it just looks nice.
Well, honestly, the Alpine, I don't think it's that different from the Toro Rosso. I think in 2017, it's like the exact same livery, but just pink instead of red, and it just does not look as nice as that as well, so
No,
doesn't
no,
compare favourably.
no. I think we can probably comfortably say that at least one of the Alpines will definitely take 11th place.
I think we'll give it to the pink Alpine for 11th.
Shall we, yeah?
Yeah.
Shortly followed by the blue one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm
Okay.
happy with that. 10th,
I'm-
10th for the blue.
You know,
You've been outvoted.
No.
It's
Where
a
did,
democracy.
all right, where did everyone
Bye.
put? No, I'm not having this. Where did everyone put AlphaTauri? I put it
Sixth.
10th,
Sixth.
6th,
Eighth.
7th,
Eighth.
8th,
Ninth.
9th.
so
What about Mercedes?
I put that.
I'm on the argument of Mercedes up high, so
All right, where did you all put the blue Alpine then?
9th.
9th
9.
11th.
and
Eighth.
oh, fine.
So I think we
You're
can
wrong,
we can
but-
comfortably say 11th it will be the pink livery, and the 10th will be the blue livery.
And then
Right.
9th is the Haas?
No,
Ninth.
9th is AlphaTauri.
No, 9th is the Haas.
I think I'll give 9th to the Haas, but mainly because I want to see what they do with it. Because it's literally just white.
Just being
It's not
overruled
even
here.
it's not even the livery.
Well, they're all, you
It's
know,
not your show anymore, Will.
they're listening to our predictions anyway, so if we put Haas too high, then maybe they won't put a livery on it. So
Yeah.
we need
It's-
to encourage them to put a
right,
livery
it's
on their
fun
car.
seeing-
We could
just
bump
a-
it up to 8th. I don't think that would do anything.
Well, it's fine seeing just a plain car. It doesn't have to. There doesn't always have to be.
No.
That's why I put the
I mean-
Ferrari so high. That's fairly plain. There's not much to it, and I don't think you need to always have a nice vibrant. Like white stands out on this grid because what have we got? We got
Blue.
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 Got a few red cars. Like
Bit more blue.
some silver. Like obviously.
More blue.
Yeah, the red. It's very blue actually. The
And
grid.
let's finish off with a little bit more blue.
So that's my point. Like it stands out. The white stands out, and I think that Haas. Can we give them some some props because they can't even get to testing because their planes break down.
I
It's
do
not
think
fair.
I do think AlphaTauri and Mercedes are worse than Haas. I'm sure that everyone disagrees with them, or I know you disagree with the Mercedes
I
catch,
do.
but
I think
where have you put AlphaTauri at least?
AlphaTauri 6th. But I'm fine putting it a bit lower.
But where have you put it, Kavin?
7.
I put it 10th.
I put it 9th.
See, that's fair. That's down there as well.
That's
No
okay.
no one in the top half with
I
AlphaTauri.
think we can probably give AlphaTauri 9th then.
Yes.
because
Oh god.
I've claimed this one.
Great.
You can put you can put Haas 8th.
yeah,
I just want Haas above AlphaTauri. That's
and
one
then
thing.
Haas 8th. Then are we happy with that?
Yeah.
Sure.
And then for number 7,
Red Bull.
what?
Mercedes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
here
think
we go.
I think
Red
it
Bull
is.
versus
I think it
Mercedes.
is between Red Bull and Mercedes for 7.
No.
I do prefer the Red Bull, because I just always prefer the color scheme of the Red Bull. I mean, yes, it's been repetitive over the last God knows how many years, but the fact is, if it ain't broke, don't need to do anything to it. So, and I feel that the Mercedes, especially when it's too flat. In my opinion, it's way too flat than what I was expecting from it.
See, when you pick a 3-colour livery, generally it works out really well. But this one, those colours do not go together in the slightest.
No.
It's just wrong.
Right, I could argue the red doesn't go as well. I've got it up here. That turquoisey teal looks incredible with the silver.
No, it's
No,
too-
not in this
No,
year's
no.
livery.
It's too much.
Last year it was beautiful, and especially because
Oh yeah, the black was
with
amazing.
the black, and especially with that teal being sort of like a neonish color,
Yeah.
and it really popped. This year the whole car is just completely flat, and especially with the back with all the 3-pointed stars at the back, just completely ruins it. And I feel mainly because the renders looked quite decent as well, and the way. And compared to the track, that just ruined it.
I
even
think
more.
we're stepping away from like the definitively bad ones now. I don't think it is
Yeah.
definitively bad.
No.
Well,
I
I
just-
wouldn't say one of the ones we put in the bottom 4 is definitively bad, but you do you.
Yeah.
I think it just looks boring.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the rumours of what Mercedes are going to show up in Bahrain with tomorrow with like no side pods?
What do you mean no side
No, I
pods?
saw that. I thought that
Yeah.
was a joke.
Yeah.
Is that not a joke?
No, well, Will Buxton tweeted
Do we
about
trust
it.
Will
If it-
Buxton
I trust Will
100%?
Buxton.
Yeah, Will Buxton is a half reliable source, so
I want to see what that Mercedes is going to look like tomorrow, because I think it
Yeah.
could shock some
I
people.
think-
But that car, it's just a bit flat and boring. Red Bull is just boring. So I think I'm going to have to... Am I just contradicting myself? Yes, I am. Cool.
That's fine. That's fine.
I put Mercedes 6th and Red Bull 9th. Maybe there's a bit of anti-Red Bull bias coming in there.
I put Red Bull in the top 3, so I think it's a bit of a big
I
difference
put
compared to everyone.
Red Bull
I
wasn't.
put Red Bull
was,
4th as well.
Yeah, if you judge the Red Bull livery just
Right,
by
I
itself and not looking at
Red
repetitiveness,
Bull
it's really
8th,
good.
Mercedes 4th. So
My Red Bull used to be 3rd until they put the Bybit locals on it, and then it went down to 6th. But it's still, I'll still put it away above Mercedes. So
I think there's enough there to maybe say Mercedes 7th and
Red Bull.
Red Bull
6th.
6th then.
Alpha, right.
Okay.
What about Alfa Romeo?
I put-
I'm not standing for Alfa Romeo slander.
Has anyone put Alfa Romeo in the bottom half?
Yeah.
I put it 5th.
6th.
7th.
Okay.
Second.
No. No.
I
didn't
put it
it.
second.
Oh, you put it
I
second.
put
Yes.
it 5th.
That
I put
car.
it fifth,
That
yeah.
car is.
How can you put that slice down the middle second?
It's really good looking. That car.
It's
It's
good
not
looking.
as good as it was.
The
last year.
metallic-
no,
it's-
she was better.
No,
It's the metallic red and white for me.
the front on the car looks good. From the side, I don't like it from the side.
All right, where have you all put McLaren?
4th.
3rd.
Second.
Put it 8th.
Where
Well,
have you
you're
put it,
just
Kevin?
wrong.
Yeah, this guy-
I
Your
think
opinions are wrong,
definitely we can
apparently.
definitely say that. Well, we can definitely say that Mercedes 7th, Red Bull
Sure.
6th.
Yeah,
We can-
we'll come back
we
and
can-
argue
we can
about the
concede
next
with that
5.
anyway.
I thought everyone was going to slander McLaren, so I'm pretty happy with this actually.
No, I will be slandering McLaren.
Also, we've got the defence squad here.
I was just like,
I'm ready.
I've just got completely different opinions to everyone else here, apparently.
Well, yep. So I think we got 11th with the pink Alpine, just to recap.
Yep.
10th is the blue one. 9th is AlphaTauri. 8th is Haas. 7th is Mercedes, and 6th Red Bull. Is that what we agree with?
Works
We happy
for me.
with that?
I semi-agree with it, which I think is probably the best that anyone's going to get.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I agree with it, except for the one car that I will back to the hill.
why?
Because it's good
Why?
looking, that
It's
car.
not.
Oh well.
I think you're looking at a different car.
I'm looking at the correct car.
Well, I think we can take a breather. Take a nice little break. Here is Koala with Echoes. Hello, and we're here for the third part of the show, and let's talk about the top 5 then. The coveted top 5 of the best liveries of 2022, which it's actually quite debatable, especially with how good the liveries are this year. I think we can agree with that at least. So I think we can start with the top 5. I think we'll go the other way this time. Jack, do you want to go with your top 5?
Okay, 5th I've put Alfa Romeo. I think it's a downgrade from last year, but I also think it was the prettiest car last year, so there it is. 4th is the Red Bull. It looks the same as every year from the last 4, but it's still a good livery. 3rd is the Aston Martin. I'm glad we got to see that kind of as intended, as it should have been last year. 2nd's the McLaren. Now, I made this ranking like before they released the Twitter thing, and I'm still entirely undecided on whether that extra black makes it better or worse. But I'll leave it there. And number 1, I think, is the Ferrari, because I think it's really reminiscent of that, whichever the 1970s, that kind of Ferrari era. I think is a really pretty car.
Katch?
So I agree that Ferrari's pretty, but I have put it 5th. And it does. It looks. These top 5 are really tight for me, so it kind of changes a bit. But I put the Ferrari 5th. I put the Mercedes 4th because I really like it, and I understand that you guys don't. The McLaren is 3rd. It looks really nice, and I think the black makes it even better. But my top 2 by far are Williams 2nd and Aston Martin 1st. Those 2 just look stunning, and especially the Williams on track. The sunshine on it looks gorgeous, and even in like the night races, it's going to look great. But yeah, Aston Martin just nailed it, honestly.
Okay, Kavin?
I'm going to make a late change and put Ferrari 4th and McLaren 5th. I was going to have it the other way around. But, I just saw the Ferrari again, and it actually looks really good. But I think the livery looks great, but for some reason on that car, I don't know, maybe it's just a design or something. It doesn't look as nice as it did. I like the McLaren a lot. I don't really see... I think the opinions here is quite different to the general audience, because everybody hates it on Twitter for some reason. They're all like, Will.
I mean, Twitter's not known for being a place of sanity, is it?
That is true. I've got Red Bull 3rd, which is a surprise, but I just love that livery. Aston Martin 2nd, and I've gone for Williams 1st. It's just so beautiful on the track. It looks like a car from 1991. It's just great.
The blue does pop really well on the track.
These 5 probably do oscillate a bit, but I've gone Williams 5th. I do think that car is good looking. I've gone Aston Martin 4th, the blue Alpine 3rd. I will continue to back that car. I put Alfa Romeo 2nd and Ferrari in 1st.
Yeah. So my 5th place is Alfa Romeo. I think at least they're one team that decided to do something with the wheel covers. But I think from the side on, it just doesn't look as good as I wanted it to be. And like Jack said, I do feel it was a downgrade from last year. 4th, I put McLaren. I'm a massive fan of Papaya, but it's too chaotic for a livery, in my opinion. It's way too chaotic. 3rd, I put Williams. Because the blue just pops. Aston Martin, because they finally perfected that British racing green. And I think... And thank God there's no more BWT pink on that car, which I think is just a big reason why.
It would just ruin the car. As we've seen from this year, it would ruin the car.
Yeah. And my number 1 is easily by country mile Ferrari. I just love that Ferrari red. It's just simple, it works, and it's just beautiful.
So do we all have the Ferrari and the Williams and the Aston Martin top 3?
I don't have the Williams. Williams is 6th for me.
Ferrari's 4th.
No, the top 5 I meant. So...
Yeah,
we've all got similar.
Yeah, we can kind of say that for sure. I think, where did people put Alfa Romeo?
6th.
2nd.
7th.
5th.
And I put 5th as well.
Why? Just you're all wrong, objectively.
So, I think if we can average out, we could probably put Alfa 5th.
Yeah, I think the Alpha just looks like something from Motorsport Manager. The colours are really nice, but the layout is just so generic.
F1 2021,
not inspired.
F1 2021, my team default livery.
Basically.
That's what it is. But yeah, I mean, any objections to that?
I like the metallic red. The red is really nice.
It looks good, but Ferrari did it better.
Yes.
No, but Ferrari are metallic red, they're matte red.
But it's a red.
Yeah.
I do want to say absolute props to using the kind of the wheel covers, because they've done it, and McLaren have done it a little bit.
Yeah.
But they've done it to a far better degree than anyone else has. So
100%.
Shout out to them for that. But
I'll be interested to see if teams develop it for... That could probably be a race by race thing. I don't see why they wouldn't. Can you imagine McLaren just put a British flag on on their wheel for like the British Grand Prix or
Yeah, it
something.
has to look good while it's spinning, though, doesn't it? Or is that?
Well, it's LEDs, isn't it? So I guess you could do some trickery and make it.
No one's put LEDs on it. They've got some
One
of.
team has to at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
they'll-
team will probably will, definitely.
No, but I will. So we're putting Alfa Romeo 5th.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, right.
So that leaves 4 very prestigious brands with Ferrari, Aston Martin, Williams, and McLaren for the top 4. So where did people put McLaren?
8th.
Third.
Second.
I put that 4th.
I think McLaren 4th then. I think the new one they've released looks much better. I think the black at the back makes it look a bit less chaotic and a bit more like refined and sleek. I think it's the less blue that I like. I think the blue and the orange balance out now, and then the black sort of works well with it as well. But I think if we're going off the original, I wasn't really a fan of it. It was just a bit, yeah.
Where's everyone put Williams?
I put that 3rd.
Second.
I put it 5th, but I'm willing to go higher because I think
Yeah,
I might have been a bit
I
harsh.
think Williams is a little bit more love-hate than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think because it's such a
yeah.
simple livery, it's just a very blue livery.
It's got dimension to it at the back.
Yeah, it has a lot of things going on, but to me, not in a great way. It's
Very
nice,
subtle.
definitely a nice-looking car. It's definitely a nice-looking car, but I would just like to see it a little bit more simplified, or like flattened out in some way. I'm not sure. Just everything's just a little bit too much. for the
Well,
way-
should we vote between, I guess,
Yeah,
whoever,
I
which
think
one?
Probably most people thought the McLaren was worse. So
I mean, if we go
I'm-
around it.
I'm down for putting Williams above McLaren.
I mean, my vote's for the McLaren, but
Okay.
Williams just above McLaren.
Williams, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Williams as well.
So I think McLaren 4th, Williams 3rd.
Fourth and third are still pretty good places for
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I mean, especially how I think, especially the top 4 or 5 are very, very close knit. Because just, I think also these new generation cars, just the general shapes of themselves are just really good. So, got the top 2 with Ferrari versus Aston Martin. So I think we'll just go votes. I think Jack will defer.
I went Ferrari first and Aston Martin third. So Ferrari.
Aston Martin top.
Aston Martin.
I went Ferrari first, Aston Martin 4th. But yeah.
And I
Whoa.
put Ferrari first, Aston Martin second.
Yeah.
Ferrari are fifth on my list.
Wow.
So
Right, I'm sorry. Where did you put Alfa Romeo?
Seventh.
All right, I was about to say, if you put them above it and then you gone at me
No,
with,
no,
like,
no.
they've done the red better.
No, Ferrari does look clean. Those top 5, including Mercedes, for me, are better. They're the top 5, like, easily.
What I like about the Ferrari is they're not afraid to change the small things because they will never move away from red. You know, they will never.
no.
It's so
having a
much a
purple
part of their
Ferrari.
brand. No, stop! My brain hurts.
I mean, the Williams is almost purple.
But what they have done is they are willing to experiment with that a little bit, and so they've they throughout their history they could have just one shade of red and then just slap their sponsors on it, and I don't think anyone would complain too much. But I think they changed things around. They've had the white on it with Schumacher. They've had black on it back in kind of early hybrid days. And I think they made a mistake last year with the burgundy and they improved it. And that's what really, really stands out to me. So the same design philosophy, but it just looks so much nicer than it was last year.
Oh yeah. I think personally speaking, the best looking car is Ferrari with the medium tires. Especially because the wheel covers I think they got the yellow outline and then with the yellow.
I like that as well.
Well, the photo I've got here of the Williams is the Williams with the soft tyres on, and that just looks really good because the red of the
Yeah.
intake and the red of the tyres. The team's sacrificing tyre strategy to make their cars pop.
Yes.
You're only allowed to run the tyres that make your car look better.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. And I just feel that with the Williams, they could have added some yellow to it, probably especially where they put the red. They could have implemented a little bit of yellow to make it more 1990s. What did people think of that?
I don't know where you put the yellow without ruining it. I think the red and the blue sort of works quite well.
I do agree with Chinmay. I think maybe, or at least, it would have been nice to have one where they just switched the yellow to the red. just like a digital render, because the original ones were digital anyway, just to see what it looks like. Because that was kind of what they were promising with all that. They did their intro and it was all like camel liveries and stuff. I think what's clear about the top three is they've picked a strong shade, like as their base color, and then just a little bit extra, just to really highlight that. And obviously that's something that we all like. So, or at least most of us like. So I think that's the way to go for Haas, isn't it? They've got to pick white and then do their best to accentuate that.
Probably an honourable mention. What would people rank the camo livery that Alfa Romeo ran in testing?
Last. Even below the pink Alpine.
Yeah, it's lovely to see in testing. I like the fact that we have testing liveries, but it would hurt. It's bad for sponsors. It's bad for eyesight. It's bad for TV. It's just no.
I mean,
it's great for concealing what their car looks like, but that's not what anyone wants now, is it? So
yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. Could be worse.
I think Red Bull did it better, a few years back. This is just a bit more messy.
Yeah, when the thing is,
but that was the intention, right? The intention was almost like those, like the Land Rovers you see around here sometimes. That you can't see the shape of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was deliberately bad, and we knew that. So.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I think just to run through our order really quickly, we've got in last place we've got the pink Alpine, we got 10th place we've got the blue Alpine. I was just shaking his head there. And 9th we got AlphaTauri, 8th we got Haas, 7th Mercedes, 6th Red Bull, 5th Alfa Romeo, 4th McLaren, 3rd Williams, 2nd Aston Martin, and the winner by 3-2 vote in this room here. We have the Ferrari F1 75 having the best livery.
There's some unhappy faces over by.
I think we're guests on the show, so maybe we should get some special privileges and put the Aston Martin above.
Chinmay's the host. He got the final call.
Yeah, it's and it's a democracy as well. So
I tried.
Yeah,
It's a democracy until we need to win.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah. On that note, I think we can move to another song, and here is Priya Raghu with Illuminous. So, time for our final segment. It's the predictions game, and Katch, I think you're the only person who has not done the predictions yet.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we'll just. Oh yeah, but by the way, I think we had to say commiserations to Will because he's already lost some points with the quali battle because now one of his quali battles is now deemed void.
I would like to say that might be. We'll probably do, for our season preview next week, shout out to that, we'll probably do various predictions, and I think I've already taken the victory for the worst prediction of this
the season
year.
hasn't started, and that's probably the worst prediction you could possibly have made in the history of predictions.
I predicted that a driver who is now not on the grid and is probably never going to get on the grid ever again to be... Oh, no.
At least you didn't predict him driver's champion, there's that.
No. I'm not that crazy.
It was close.
Alright, so I think let's quickly do our round for Katch then. Are you ready?
Yes.
So who would you predict to be the World Drivers' Championship for this year?
I've been thinking about this. I'm going with my gender and I'm going Hamilton. I think Mercedes are sandbagging a bit, and even though there might be some tension with Russell, give Hamilton his 8th, or Hamilton deserves his 8th, and then Russell can take over.
Yep. And what about your constructors?
I'm going to change it. I'm going to go Ferrari, because that pairing, I think, is just unstoppable, honestly. I love them.
Who do you think will get the most driver of the days?
So, this is also probably an on the whim, but I'm going to go Ricciardo, because I think McLaren are going to do really well, but I'm not going to go Twitter as a general consensus, but people have been hating on Ricciardo a bit, completely unnecessarily. So I think people will remember that, and he'll get quite a lot of driver of the days, and I think people will really start to it in a good light again.
Fair enough. And now we got the quali battles, so I'll just go through each of the teams, and we'll find out who you think will win the quali battle between the two drivers. So we'll start with Mercedes. Who do you think will win the quali battle?
Hamilton.
What about Red Bull?
Verstappen.
Ferrari?
Leclerc.
McLaren.
Norris, obviously.
Alpine.
Alonso?
Okay. AlphaTauri.
Pierre.
Aston Martin.
Seb.
Williams.
Albon, easily again.
Alfa Romeo.
Valtteri.
And Haas.
Well, I've got to say Mick, because I don't know who the other driver is.
That's a very hard one.
If it's Hulkenberg, then I might go him. But we don't know, so I'm not going to say that it...
You can say the other driver if you want to
The
hedge it.
No, I don't think so. I think you have to call the driver and make sure that...
No, I'm going Mick.
Fair enough. And we have... and then you can choose one team that did not finish in the top 4 last season. So you cannot choose between Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull and McLaren. And any race that is happening this season. And however many points they score is however many points you win. You don't need to guess the amount of points they score.
So I'm going to go Williams, because I back them to improve a lot more than where they were. And especially because I back Albon 100%. And I'm going to go Hungary, because they did really well in Hungary last year. And I think it could also just be a crazy race. So, yeah, I'm going to go Williams and Hungary.
Okay.
Did we get anyone predict a Russian Grand Prix?
I don't think so, no.
No.
So I'm just the idiot here.
Because the Russian Grand Prix is always won by Mercedes anyway. So it's always the top 4 that do really well in Sochi.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did really well.
We'll never be going back there ever
Forever
again.
did well, because that means
At least
Mercedes would have won every single Russian Grand Prix ever.
At least we ended on a high note. It was a good race, that
on a
one.
very low note. What do you mean? It was the worst race of the season.
What, Russia?
What?
As a Norris fan, it was
Okay,
the worst race of the season.
That's complete.
I thought that race was really good.
So that was the weekend that I moved into my uni accommodation. I watched it in my room, and for a good 20 minutes I was just sat on the corner texting my friend, like, in the corner of my room. It was painful.
Yeah, I think every single fan felt that pain of Lando just...
I will never watch the race again.
I'm never watching Abu Dhabi again. That's
Neither.
painful. Oh, but I'm going to have to watch it when we talk about Drive to Survive next week on our season preview, 2 hours long. We'll do predictions. We'll do Drive to Survive.
The reward for Segway of the Week goes to Will.
Exactly. We'll do predictions, Drive to Survive. Looking forward to what the races are coming up. We'll know actually a bit more about how the cars are doing from testing. And we'll be just a few days away from the start of the 2022 season.
Yeah, I absolutely can't wait. Honestly, this new generation is I just can't wait.
It's so exciting.
It is really fun.
So,
Especially because we have no idea what's going to happen, so...
exactly.
It better be good. Like,
Can't
that
wait.
rain better not disappoint. Imagine if it's just another runaway.
I would like to say that if Nico Hulkenberg rocks up and Haas have the best car on the grid, then I will be fully Hulkenback for the 2022 world title.
Yep. I don't think anyone would object to that. So I think thank you for everybody, and everyone seemed to be semi-happy about the livery rankings. And this is your host Chinmay and signing off, and see you next week.